Welcome back, TIL Nation, to the Let's Talk About It segment, where we talk about it, some of the most crucial and impactful points of today's service. So, Miss Cat, to you, what was some of the most impactful points?
I think what was most impactful was to know that Ahithophel was Bathsheba's grandfather.
Right, right. Marcus, how about you? What's some of the things you took away from today's service?
Well, with her talking about Ahithophel being his grandfather, and then the place of power that Ahithophel had. So, like she said, it was his grandfather. So you got to go through the whole plot of the story. So, with Ahithophel having so much hate in his heart, he had that hate in his heart for so long,
Right.
because he wanted to get back at David for killing Bathsheba's husband Uriah. He wanted to kill Uriah. So, man, it's crazy, dog, because he had been in power for so long and nobody
Right.
ever knew that's how he felt. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how even us as people, we can sit down, we can talk to people, we can chill with people, but deep in the inside, man, they want to get you back for something that you done did a long time ago.
Right. As going back to what you said, Kat, ain't it interesting how the way Pastor breaks down the word, and then you find out this person was related to this person, and this person is related to this person. I always think that's interesting. You spoke about holding that hate in your heart, right, for so long, right, and then he had all this hate in his heart. And David didn't even know. He didn't even know his right-hand man. He's continuing to confide in him, continuing to use him for prayer. And this whole time, he's using him. What do you say to that, Ms. Cat?
I think we as Christians, things can happen, even in before the Christendom. Things can happen in our family. I think that's the most impactful hurt that we can have is with our families. Things can happen in our families that may hit us to the core.
Right.
That basically we'll take and we'll hold and we'll let those things manifest and we'll let those things grow to something that's bigger than we are. And then we get that hatred in our heart for that person. So then once we get that hatred in our hearts for that person, then we want to start thinking of ways to sabotage. Ways to take over, ways to get them back. On the comeback. So what we need to do is try to eliminate those things. And what we learned today from this lesson is that we can't have those things in our hearts and in our minds. So that way, in life, we don't have to try to sabotage people or try to find ways to get back. The greatest get back is Jesus. So we'll have to let him get the get back.
Come on.
Like Pastor say, we take you off our hook and put you on God's hook.
Amen.
There you go. This is something speaking to that, right? I even thought how powerful it was when he had the Nelson Mandela quote about how this man spent 27 years in prison, and when he knew he was going to be free, he had to at that point come to grips with, you know what? I'm not going to have bitterness in my heart. What do you say that? Because this ain't dealing with a person betraying you. This is you spending 27 years of your life in prison for trying to make a positive change, right? How big do you think that is?
I mean, it's big, but you got to look at it on the standpoint of that's just with anything. You know what I'm saying? So, like he said, he was in prison for so long, but the problem was it wasn't him getting out. It was that even if I get out, if I keep the mentality of this bitterness in my heart, I'm going to still be locked in prison in my mind. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we got to understand that, man, you could walk around, live everyday life and still be in prison, man, over some hate or, you know what I'm saying, somebody did something to you and you want to get them back that bad or they got that much power over your life to the point to where it controls everything that you do. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what I think. I think it's powerful to understand that, man, I ain't got to be in prison to be in prison. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because if you're in prison mentally, it's just as bad, if not worse, being actually behind bars.
For sure.
Man, y'all speak to this as all this is occurring, right? Pastor brings us into remembrance that God had already told David that what you did in private, I'm going to do to you in public, right? But yet God is still with David through the process. As he's reaping what he sowed, right? God is still with him. Man, speak to that, Miss Cat.
I think that's the amazing thing about God that even though we mess up, I heard a preacher say, a great quote said that that don't don't mistake God's use of you for his approval of you.
Right.
Even though we do things and we are bad at it. We do things we're not supposed to do, and we say, oh, we're God, we're Christian, we love Christ, we love God, and we still mess up every day, but he still uses us. He uses us to get a word over. He uses us to get people delivered, saved, set free, or whatever the case may be, and we should be grateful for that. That he still sees us enough to where even we mess up, we still can be used by him, and we can recover, even as David did.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah, I think when looking at David's life, it just gives you a little bit of ease. You know what I'm saying? Because like they say, David was a man after God's own heart. So with him being a man after God's own heart, and now we literally walking through his entire life. You know what I'm saying? You see that he wasn't perfect in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But the thing about him was, even though he messed up and he had all these things going wrong with him, he knew how to come to God and get it right with God. You know what I'm saying? So I think if we continue to look at life like that, it makes it easy on this journey. You know what I'm saying? You won't beat yourself up so bad. I mean, we human. You know what I'm saying? Although we strive every day to walk as we should, and we gonna mess up, and he know that. But just because we mess up don't mean that he gonna cut us off. You know what I'm saying? And I can appreciate by God.
Thank you, God.
And also, like Pastor said, just when you mess up, you're just supposed to fess up,
Yeah.
and let God handle the rest. So look, man, I really appreciate y'all coming and telling us some of y'all what some of the most impactful and crucial points with y'all today. And listen, TIL, anytime you want to be a part of the Let's Talk About It segment, let us know when service is over. And you also can come and kind of let us know what you got from the service and what it meant to you. All right? See y'all later. Here comes the church.